I'm back.
Let me kick it back. Let me kick it back. Let me kick it back. Let me kick it back. Let me kick it back. Let me kick it back. Hey boy, right there, what you gon' do if they gon' do you like that? I'm a wild boy and I need to be arrested. Don't catch cases, I just catch blessings. We can dance around it, but we best get to stepping. If I don't want to smoke, why didn't I
What's
start
up,
the
everybody?
session?
Yes, I have returned from the grave once again. It's your boy, Chandler Fehr, Channy Chan, your mom's best friend, and I'm just here to start off the show by saying,
I know all my hoes miss me.
and anybody who loved while I was gone, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Anybody who hated on me while I was gone, off getting my dollar bills, y'all. This is what I got to say to you.
Everybody born, you can kiss my whole asshole.
We're starting off with 3 sound effects right off the top. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming back in hot. He's coming back in like a Apollo Ono coming back in the Olympics. Oh no. We are off to a great start, obviously, since we have so much practice doing solo podcasts. I'm supposed to just kind of get into my life a little bit. And here's what I got to say about life, man. Sometimes in your life, stuff is going to go good. And it's going to be beautiful. And it's going to work out exactly how you want it to work out. There's stuff in your life where situations, they can just happen, you know? For instance, my last show, I wanted it to be intense. I wanted it to be amazing. I wanted it to be exhausting. I wanted to feel the culmination of my entire college career in the twits. And I truly felt like I got that. My director, Octavio, was amazing. The people I worked with were amazing. The schedule was rigorous. It felt like boot camp. And things will work out exactly how you want them to work out. And when those things happen, it's cash. It's money. And it's beautiful. It's something from the heavens. And there's things in your life that go not how you want them to go. And they can seem good from the beginning. They can seem bad from the beginning. But no matter how it turns out, at the end of the day, you know that you're going to come out of it different in the end, possibly with scars. An example of this would be my podcast with Justin, Cracker Jokes. It's a podcast that I have where me and my friend Justin Briscoe hang out and do a fake baseball podcast where we do 9 innings of comedy. There are 10 episodes currently. We just did our 11th episode with the bad boy of improv comedy, Michael Fornerato. And unfortunately, the audio wanted to be the devil because, honestly, there are demons in audio, okay? I don't know what it is. Sometimes you record and everything just sounds like you're underwater. And you go, this was an hour. I checked. I thought I checked. I thought I made sure that everything was going to be okay. It's not. So we had to scrap the 11th episode because we literally sounded like we were the people in the scuba mission to go to the Titanic. And by scuba, I mean video game controlled submarine, because that makes a lot of sense. I guess with the culture of video games, people coming up doing drones are going to have similar things. And I think they already do in the military because people and humans and Americans are addicted to fucking video games. Yeah, man, but even when I do cracker jokes, Justin still abuses me. He hurts me. I have physical scars on my body from the amount of lashings that I've taken. Just like the cat of 9 tails is unleashed upon my back every episode. He whips me verbally, he whips me physically, he whips me spiritually. Justin, he might seem like a good person to a lot of people. A lot of people might like him. But on Cracker Jokes, you really get to see the tension that we build, and I get to bring out the other side of Justin, the more sadistic side of Justin, um, the legend of Pocatello, the man, the myth, the giant, the legend, the actual WWE manager of my life. So go check out Cracker Jokes. We have a segment where you can write in and ask us questions, send us poems to read, send us scenes to read, anything that you want read or thought about, or advice in your life. We're no gurus, we're no spiritual counselors, but we do our best to make it funny, make it light, as Justin brutally um, tears me down in every way. So it can get somber at times, but that is life is interesting, and it's not easy by any means. I came out with an album years ago at this point when I was in high school called Life is a B Movie That We All Have to See. And the question I really should have asked on it is, do you like jazz? But wrong, B movie. And it's a movie like Teeth, you know, like the movie about the girl with the vagina teeth, like the sharp vagina. I think that movie's called Teeth. Um, yeah, that's a lot. Uh, that's the kind of movie that life is. Life is like Teeth or like Rubber. Um, the movie about the scary, ghost tire. So sometimes B movies are good. Like honestly, sometimes B movies are really good, and you're like, well, I'm really surprised that with the low budget that this movie has and the actors that I don't know, what they were able to accomplish in this movie. Like there's definitely things like that. But a lot of B movies just aren't great. Like honestly, Teeth is such a bad movie. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life. I constantly think
That's fucking illegal.
to make a movie like that, like it's like I don't know if they brought in the bag, but they definitely made my bag hurt watching that movie. Yeah. So I did see a good movie recently. It was called The Late Night with the Devil. A lot of people were hating on it because they had AI art in it, and I understand that point of view. We have talked about AI art on this channel before, and about the dangers of it taking people's jobs for sure when it comes to, um, screen actors to digital artists to background actors. I'm sure composers will have being kicked out by AI art, writers. And the thing is I understand everyone's point of view. Like I get what everyone's saying. I understand that sucks. And I agree that it sucks that machines are being able to do things of somewhat quality very, very quickly to aid certain processes for people or for whatever someone's purposes, I suppose. This movie, it was like 7 AI art screens. Like because it's a movie about a late night talk show essentially with a séance in it. And there would be times that they cut to a commercial and they would go black and white, which is a really cool convention. How when they were on screen it was color, and when they were off screen it was black and white. And there was these like cutscenes of like, we'll be right back. Here's a message from our sponsors. Yada yada yada. And they were made by AI, and clearly they were made. I mean, not I guess not clearly because like the person I went with was like, "Oh yeah, there's AI art in this," and I was like waiting for it, and I saw a couple of those cutscenes, and then she would like pointed during one of the screens, and she was like, "That's it," and I was like, "Oh shit, that is the AI art." And if someone did that, I don't know a lot about Photoshop, and I don't want to be like, "Oh, I could figure that out," blah blah blah, but I could figure that out in 2 weeks. I feel like I give me 2 weeks, and I could make something similar. If I had my time, if you paid me, you know, $1,500, I'd do it. But these digital artists probably would want, a couple more than that. So hire me. That's what I'm trying to say. You got the AI, you got the people who actually do it, and then you got the motherfuckers like me in the middle that are like, pay me a little bit and I'll figure it out. I got it. Uh, whether it's gonna whether it's gonna work out or not, it's kind of like life, right? Sometimes stuff works out exactly how you want it to, and sometimes it doesn't. So who knows? Late Night with the Devil, though, very good movie. Very good movie. I think it was an independent movie with how many fucking people worked on it at the beginning. I felt like I watched at least 20 of those, like, this studio and that studio and this studio and yada yada yada. And I was like, just get to the movie, dude, please.
Bing bong. You know what time it is. It's Las Vegas, baby.
We moving on. We moving on from life, and we gonna talk about some topics. The first topic I want to talk about is actually
That's fucking illegal.
like real bad, and it is the fact that it's a little dated at this point. I'm not gonna lie, but Gypsy Rose, like, why was Gypsy Rose a celebrity for like a month after she got out of jail? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that we've moved off of her at this point. Like, I'm glad that she's not getting the interviews and shit anymore. But she killed her mom. And I don't want to be critical because yeah, her mom was like putting her through a hard time. Uh, she killed her mom, you know, and
That's fucking illegal.
so I think it was stabs, but you get the idea. And I don't know why all of a sudden after she got out, people were almost sympathizing or just wanting fascinated, I suppose, is like the best reason, but I just didn't understand all of the hype around what I thought. It was weird, to be honest. I was like, well, we're not trying to like idolize school shooters, right? And I think in general we shouldn't try to idolize killers. No matter what your reason is, unless it's self-defense, killing somebody is bad, like really, really bad. So and here's the thing. I get that she acts like she's 14 because she got locked up when she was young or whatever, and now she's an adult because why? She spent all of her time in jail, in fucking prison, because
That's fucking illegal.
when she gets out and she goes on The View, and she was like, I did my time and I know what I did was wrong. And one of the ladies on The View was like, well, and she goes, no, 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 murder is wrong. Gypsy Rose has to tell you murder is wrong? You're trying to defend her? Thank you, Gypsy, for staying honest to the situation. Get off The View! Please! Please get off The View! And she did. And she did. Thank you, Gypsy. I really appreciate it because it was just Oh my god, it was like I was so confused. I was like, man, we are into the weirdest shit. Why do people why are we like this? Why are we like this? Why are we wanting to interview on national television a lady that killed her mom, dude? Because her mom was like acting like she was sick and had cancer. I get it. I get it. But also, don't interview her. Please, for the love of God, don't interview her. We're moving on. Random button push. Oh, this actually works. I don't know if you can hear this. I hope you can. But there is an angel, choir of angels singing behind me, and we are about to talk about the 2024 sacrifice of the red heifer. This is a biblical and, I believe, a judicial, not judicial, Judaic. Oh, I'm so rich. Judaic prophecy that here is an article from, it says, the J Post, which is the Jerusalem Post, it seems like. 5 perfectly red heifers required for the ritual purification of those who's touched a deadly body arrived in Israel from a ranch in Texas on Thursday. As the Temple Institute continues preparations to lay ground to the construction of the third temple in Jerusalem. The heifers are all under a year old and they remain 100% red and avoid any blemishes that would disqualify them. They will each be eligible to be used to create the ashes required by Jewish law to purify those who have been in contact with a dead body, explained the Ritual Institute on Monday. This level of purification would be needed in order to allow the priests to carry out their work in the future temple. So, let's see here. I thought this was a different article. So, Jerusalem, or I guess um, they're building the third temple in this place that also contains a mosque, like one of the like most sacred mosques. And they're building the third temple, or they want to, and they are trying to sacrifice the red heifer. And there's only been 9 red heifers sacrificed since the time of Moses. So it's a pretty big deal. In Numbers 3, God tells Moses and Aaron, this is a ritual law that God has commanded. Instruct the Israelite people to bring you a red cow without blemish, in which there is no defect, on which no yoke has been laid. So in the Old Testament, the red heifer was also a symbol used for Jesus, because the scripture also says that Jesus obviously was without blemish if they believe that he's perfect, and that no bones were broken, and he didn't have any kids, no yoke has been laid. And they want to construct this third temple and sacrifice this red heifer, essentially where, you know, another they're going to intersect with a very stout and respected place for the Islamic faith, which is just like typical, I guess, of what's happening, of like Israel and Judaism imposing themselves on other people. So Dave actually called me today, fuck you, David, and was like, yo, man, you got to look into this. So looking into a little bit, man, it is a little scary. I mean, stuff has always gone down there, but the fact that there's only been 9 sacrificed since the time of Moses is like, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna do the sacrifice, nothing's gonna happen. I don't know if they're gonna do the sacrifices literally come back. I don't know if they're gonna do the sacrifice and they're gonna open up a dimension to another world in which like all of the Hindu spirits pop out and take control over everybody, or if they do the sacrifice and someone starts levitating and then they become God, right? I don't fucking know what's gonna happen, but it is something historic that's going on. It's definitely something that needs to be paid attention to as far as safety goes and war, because them even wanting to construct the third temple on this place is a big reason. I read this in another article that Hamas sent their big attack in 2023, and it's because they're encroaching on their land, right? And the question always at the end of the day, me and Dave have said this. Dave actually posed it, and it's a great question, is who gets the land? Who gets the land? That is the question at the end of the day. Everyone knows what's going on is terrible. Nobody wants children to die. Nobody wants women to die. Nobody wants innocent civilians to be caught in the middle of all of this. But at the end of the day, the question comes down to who gets the land. Because when the answer is so simple, and yet we can't come to it, or we can't even negotiate peace between us when so many people are dying, you need to tackle the biggest question. And the question is who gets the land? And I don't know if that's a question that's ever going to be answered there. Right now with Russia and Ukraine, the question is who gets the land for Ukraine? Is Ukraine going to join NATO and whatnot? And honestly, I'm kind of speaking out of pocket there because I don't know too much about Russia and Ukraine. But like, who gets the land, man? And it's so sad, and it just sucks that they're imposing themselves on these people, and it's just crazy that they want to build the third temple because that is literally a prophecy for Jesus coming back. So I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like a lot of Christians have way too much loyalty to the Jewish faith. And even when we talk about Judeo-Christian values, yes, we can have similar values, but I understand that Jesus was a Jew, but at the same time, when he came back, he did not want to be a part of that religion because he was creating his own. And he was calling the Pharisees and the teachers of that time broods of vipers, saying that they were bad people, that they were a pit of snakes. So, I don't know, man. I think we have too much allegiance to them and their side. And obviously, a lot of my friends don't. A lot of my friends support Palestine and the Islamic faith much more heavily than Christians, which is also crazy because a lot of us have similar values there too, because they're all the Abrahamic religions. They all pretty much say similar things about values and how you're supposed to live your life. It's just who is God, man? That's the question. And my answer to that is I don't know, and I'm going to love everybody as much as I can. I believe that Jesus is God. At the end of the day, can I be certain of that? No. I can't answer anything, and therefore I don't really belong anywhere in that. But it definitely scares me because I'm a human. And yeah, the red heifer, man. What's going to happen? I guess we have to wait and see. To be continued.
Oh my God!
Moving on to the last topic here, we're going to talk a little bit about P Diddy. Did he do it? Is the question. Did Diddy do the dirty? There were images. For anyone that doesn't know, Diddy's house got raided because he was suspected of sex trafficking, which of course he was, because Diddy's never had a good reputation. It's not even like I'm not connected to the streets, dog, because I'm not. And I don't know nothing, but even from a fan perspective, people have always been like, I don't know, man, I would stay away from Diddy. I would stay away from Diddy because it just seems like Diddy ain't the best dude. So, Diddy a dirty dog? Did he do it? Who knows? Who knows? But there were these photos that came out that were AI creations, AI art. We hate it, right? Diddy has a late night with the devil with some children, possibly. This says a March 27th Facebook post includes two images that appear to show music producer and rapper Sean Diddy Combs. The first shows his hands behind his back, surrounded by police, while the second appear to show a mugshot of him. The post is comprised of two Instagram screenshots, both of which have captions that say, Dang, they got him. #Diddy. The post that was shared over 9,000 times in 2 days. Because fucking of course it was, dude. Because of course it was.
Bing bong. You know what time it is. It's Las Vegas, baby.
Trick 'em, baby. Trick 'em. Fuck 'em. Go get that money.
Drink your.
Oh, that's the one that he wanted from the beginning and he couldn't find it. But he found it eventually because we're back, dude. We're back. We're rocking. We're rolling. I know that this was somewhat of a shorter episode, but it's just me, and it's a bit hard to be entertaining for an hour. If I was drinking wine, I'm sure I could. I could bring back the wine cast, but which honestly I could do because I have been running. So I'm getting a little bit healthier, so I wouldn't mind drinking a little bit of wine from time to time. But thank you so much to everybody who is watching this, who has been here for this journey. We're back. I forget what episode this is, but it'll be on the screen. And thank you so much for all of the support. I really appreciate it. Go Bearcats.
When it rains, it pours and it comes indoors. We gotta change the spirit within. Then in the highs meet lows, and it comes, it goes. We're reaching out for what? For purpose in living. I'm so scared of putting this out. I walk around town with an overhanging cloud above my head that's keeping me in bed, and it's making me question every word I've ever said. Every time I'm reminded of my past failures. I'm a sailor, a prisoner in cahoots with the bale.